Hello friends and neighbors, this is John for CGTV5 and welcome back to Berger Beat, our community affairs programming here on CGTV5. First program of the new year for Berger Beat is going to talk about the Lung Care Center at Berger Hospital, and with us on the panel today is Dr. Farouk Sattar. He joined the medical staff in 2005 and he's a medical director at the Lung Center, and along with him is Dr. Dennis Tishko at the Lung Center at Berger Health Center. So welcome to the show, everybody.
Thank you.
It's good to be back on CGTV5, and of course our folks out there in the community are as Dr. Tishko mentioned, they really do listen to the show. It surprises me, but welcome everybody, and let's learn a little bit about the Lung Center at Berger Health Center. So Dr. Sattar, first of all, let's a little bit about your background and what brought you to Circleville for the Lung Center.
Well, I did my residency training in Lansing, Michigan with Michigan State University, and then I did my fellowship training at University of Texas in Galveston, Texas, and I wanted to be somewhere in the middle, so that's why I chose Columbus area and Circleville. Mm-hmm. I'm very excited about this lung center that we opened about 5 weeks ago here.
Just opened, you said, but you've been with Berger Health Center for a number of years.
Yeah, I've been practicing here for almost 3.5 years now, mm-hmm. but we finally opened this lung center to provide best care to the patients with lung diseases and patients with breathing problems.
Sure. And Dr. Tishka, how'd you get here to Circleville, Ohio?
Well, I'm an Ohio native, born and raised. I went to college up at Case Western Reserve in Cleveland, medical school in Cincinnati, did my residency in Boston at Harvard, and then the Cleveland Clinic. And I wanted to stay here in Ohio. Columbus and the central Ohio area was growing remarkably, so I landed here, and I'm glad I did. Mm-hmm.
Living in Columbus right now with
Live in Columbus right now.
And commute. Do you only work
Correct.
at Berger Health Center right now?
No, we work at several different hospitals, my new partner and I, Dr. Kevin Radecki, but we're very excited about the Lung Center here at Berger.
Yeah, terrific. So talk to us about that. 5 weeks, you say, that the Lung Center has been open. And why did the Berger Health Center decide to open up a lung care center?
Lung diseases are very common. The diseases we commonly treat over there include lung cancer, which is the leading cause of cancer deaths in the whole world. And Pickwick County is not any different than that, mm-hmm. So we have a lot of cancer patients with lung cancer. Same way, COPD is the fourth leading cause of death, and it's getting more and more common.
Yeah, explain COPD.
COPD is a very common disease, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Mm-hmm. It includes chronic bronchitis and emphysema. Cigarette smoking is the most common cause, but those are not the only people who have COPD. People even who have not smoked, if they have been exposed to a lot of dust and chemicals and stuff like that, they can also have COPD. And as the population is growing, more and more people are having COPD, anywhere from 6% to 25% of adults may have it. Mm-hmm. And the problem is a lot of people don't know that they have COPD.
Sure.
So that's why we wanted to have more awareness and provide early treatment and diagnosis so that we can prevent the long-term complications of this problem. So that's why we wanted to have a lung center.
Right. It's become I don't want to say popular disease, but more prevalent in society when you see commercials on television that are talking about, if you've got COPD, this is what you need. Dr. Tishka, you're new to Berger Health Systems? Did you just come in with the
I've been there for several years,
mm-hmm.
and the Lung Care Center is the title of the services we've been performing for some time. But the Lung Care Center lets us bring things together in one package, one place that makes it much easier for a patient, much more direct for a patient to get all of their care with every problem they have with their lungs. And many of these people have heart disease as well, many have diabetes. So the Lung Center brings together a number of different avenues for these people to really get the mm-hmm. care they need in a coordinated fashion, using the lung problem as the focus that everything else kind of comes from. So I've been down there for a number of years, working primarily on the lung surgical issues, the lung cancer issues, things like that. but it's the lung center that brings together all kinds of different avenues for those patients.
Yeah, we do seem blessed here in our community that Berger Health Systems has or is and continues to provide services like this. What does that do for our community here?
Well, they can have best care that's out there close to their home. They don't have to go to Columbus, and we are available here. I'm here pretty much 5 days a week. Dr. Tishko is also available most of the time, and so we can provide all those cares close to home.
Yeah.
So that's the best thing for the patients.
Keep it here local. Keep
Yep.
it local. What about your team at Berger Lung Care Center? Who does that consist of, and what does that consist of?
The team includes myself, Dr. Tishko is here, and we have full-time respiratory therapist who is doing pulmonary function tests. Then we have a coordinator and a person who is doing pulmonary rehabilitation. That's also very helpful for patients with COPD. And we have nurses who are there to educate patients and help them, with smoking cessation and things like that as well.
Mm-hmm. And where is the lung center?
It's in the medical office building on the second floor in Berger Hospital.
600 North.
Right, 600
Pickaway.
North Pickaway Street,
Yeah.
and then on the second floor of medical office building.
All right. That's as I said, our community is blessed that the Berger Health has continued to provide these types of services, and it continues to grow. It's I suppose, or I see it as kind of unusual for a community our size. Do you see a lung care center in other communities like this?
Well, I think it's a real tribute to the folks who run Berger Hospital that they had the wisdom to do that, because no, it is not a common thing.
Mm-hmm.
Lung disease in general really does not get the attention it needs to get. And you mentioned that when you start seeing commercials,
Yeah.
it's beginning to get that attention.
Yeah.
But considering how many people have this, how profoundly it affects their lives. They're on oxygen, they can't move, they can't do the things they want to do, they can't be with their kids. For a disease that has that much of a huge impact, it really does not have much attention. So for Berger to really focus on that, it really is a tribute. It's a remarkable thing. Mm-hmm. Lung centers really don't exist many places. There's no place in Central Ohio, no hospital in Central Ohio that has a lung center. So it's even more special than you might think.
Yeah, obviously it is, because you'd have thought the doctors around here would be sending their patients to Columbus for this, but might be just
And even the Columbus
opposite.
hospitals don't have a lung
Yeah,
center.
that's what I mean. They're coming this way.
Exactly.
All right, and you named several diseases. What's most prevalent here in our community, or is that sort of encompass our whole society in general?
The diseases that we have in common are not much different than the rest of the country. The most common thing that I see is COPD, or chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, including emphysema and chronic bronchitis. We see a fair number of people with lung cancer as well. Then we see quite a few people with asthma. We have also seen a huge number of patients with obstructive sleep apnea syndrome, which is also seen in lung center because it affects your breathing. So anything that has to do with your breathing or with your lungs is seen in lung center.
Yeah.
And then we also see sarcoidosis. We have patients with asbestosis, and then some unusual cases that we were just talking about, people who have aspirated a foreign body or something. Me and Dr. Tishko had a chance to take care of one patient like that, and Dr. Tishko wanted to share that experience. So
Please do.
And this really goes back to the idea that the lung center encompasses all kinds of problems. We know about the emphysema, the